Hi, brothers and sisters. It's Brother Paul here. I'm feeling a lot better. I want to thank you all for your wonderful prayers. It meant a lot to me. I had a bit of a scare there. Our house is in renovations and something very badly reacted to my body. And the rest is history. I went in there 2 different days and a lot of medication. But your prayers were felt, and I really thank you for that, and it meant a lot. So the irony of this is I was just getting a confirmation of a dream to share before this all took place. So I find it very interesting that the enemy did this in that season, in that week. Today's the 7th day since it started to being finished now. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. So one interesting thing that happened while I was in the hospital is I had a very troubled nurse coming to talk to me, and I ended up witnessing to her, and she was about to go see a psychic. And through a bit of conversation I'll keep private between me and her, very confusing time, you know, the job being a nurse during this pandemic, during all the things happening, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about. Watch what I say. There I was, right place, right time to talk to this woman, to talk her out of going to invite bad spirits in her life, and I got better and I left. So maybe that was why I went. I don't know. So anyway, I would like to share a dream I got. Unfortunately, I forgot. I think I had it on the 15th of December. I'll double check and I'll put it up on the screen, but I had this dream. I woke up on that day at 9:41 a.m. and I'll put up what that means too. And this was an interesting dream. I haven't talked too much about this because it just seems like one thing after another has been blocking me from sharing, doing God's work, sharing these dreams. But I haven't mentioned this before, but in all of my dreams, I've mentioned about how Daniel is in almost all my dreams, but I failed to mention that Michael, I'm always shown a friend of mine named Mike. I have many friends named Michael, but I wasn't paying attention to that part about there was always a Michael in every dream with a Daniel. And this is another one of those dreams, but this one might be different. I ask that you really pray hard for discernment on this one, because this could go in a lot of different directions, but I also think it's very clear in the end what it means. So I'm just going to go right into this dream. I prayed a lot for this one. Man, did I pray a lot for this one. So we're going on 2 weeks now since I had this. All right, so it goes like this. I was with my friend Michael, and I was telling him how frustrated I was. He asked me why. I told him everything I've tried was always taken away from me, and he asked me to explain. So I went on to give him a bunch of examples in my life, and one of them was I was trying to be a policeman right after I graduated. We ended up at someone's yard while we were walking together, and we were downtown. I entered in this person's yard, and I saw my friend Dan, who is I have a friend who's Mike and Dan are brothers. So when we arrived in this yard, I saw Mike's brother Dan, his younger brother, and they were about to get together with friends. So when I turned to my left to notice these people, they were under a screen tent. There was 4 men, and they were all wearing orange shirts. And at first I thought they were cops, but they were here for a game. And I suddenly realized, looking down, I was also wearing an orange shirt, but mine was from another team. They started to play what seemed like a baseball game, and I wanted to leave. So I got into my car, and I noticed one of these players got into my car, and he asked me where I was going. Or I asked him where he was going, and he said, I live by a waterfront downtown. He gave me directions. I began to follow his instructions, and it was a shortcut. So we arrived at a bridge being redone, and I took a good look at this bridge, and it was very strange because where there were stones, they were becoming flowers, and it seemed like a botanical garden. And then when I paid more attention to it, on this side was the stones going into the garden. People were getting ready for a funeral. So I was going to come forward to read Footprints Prayer. I don't know if some of you guys know what that is, but it's a prayer where somebody who's very down on themselves gets kind of upset with Jesus and says, "Where were you?" And Jesus shows them this prayer, and he says, "Everywhere you saw 4 footprints, I was walking beside you. Where you saw 2, I was carrying you." So in this dream, I was about to go read it to help these people out at the funeral, but another man stepped forward to read it instead of me. And then the whole scene changed. Suddenly, we were inside what I thought was a mall. We were entering something, and I thought it was a mall, but it turned out to be an elevator at a hospital. We entered it, and I explained, I knew this world of hospitals. I was hoping to run into friends. We arrived at a clinic. That man who was accompanying me decided to stay in a room. A very large group of people showed up, and they all had their right hands up like this, and excluding the man that was with me. Without saying a word, I noticed all of them had red welts all over and boils on their hands. So I left the room. This other man didn't know, said I live close by. So me and him, I asked if I wanted to go to his apartment, and I said sure. He identified it as number 39. I said okay. So as we were walking by the number 37, which I saw on the floor, an AI in the building was trying to identify me and him. We arrived at the number on the floor, and the AI knew I wasn't jabbed, and an alarm went off. Now this is the interesting thing. Number 39, when I looked it up in Strong's Concordance, means a holy place and a sanctuary. Number 37 was to make holy, to consecrate. So I'll leave that dream as it is, and I just wanted to go back to the Michael thing because I did a bit of research here, and I don't know why I was ignoring Michael being in all my dreams, but I looked it up, and this is what I read about Michael, and I wanted to keep it as biblical as possible because there's a lot of angel stuff, and I call it New Age distractions, but it says Michael is listed as the only archangel in the Bible where he appears in the Old Testament in the book of Daniel as the protector of Israel. Again, Daniel. The Hebrew origin name Michael, who is like God or a gift from God, was mentioned in a few of the descriptions I looked at. Another one, he is known as Saint Michael by many denominations. Again, by the denominations, it doesn't say that in the Bible. A spiritual warrior. He is known for the battle of good and evil. He is known in many names, such as a warrior of justice, a healer, others, a guardian of the church, most notably known for overthrowing Satan from heaven. So I mention that to tell you, if you have a Michael in your dream, that's a guardian that's walking with you. And if he is in fact the guardian of the church, pay attention to that dream. He might be trying to tell you something. Sorry, God's trying to tell you something, having him in the presence of your dream or vision. Anyway, love you guys. Glad to be back. Hope you guys had wonderful holidays, and stay close to God.